Hey guys, this is Kyle Ross. Welcome back to the channel. Last episode, when we left off, we were just getting into the Riken. We are freezing cold, and so just being inside of the Riken will kind of warm us up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and light our lantern and see what we can find. We found something for our ears. Check out this container down here. And we've got more Zap energy bar. Alright, let's see. Well, we got another skill book down there. And again, another rifle cartridge. Never know when you're going to find them. One specifically. Alright, give me some of these file cabinets. See if there's anything in these or if we can just go 4 for 4 and not find anything. And we went 4 for 4. Awesome. Alright, and just inside of this room here, we have one of the few forges in the entire game. And you'll see some coal laying on the ground next to it. There's really not much need to take that, especially if you plan to come back to this location. If you plan to come back to this forge and make arrowheads. Because at the forge that's where you can make arrowheads with scrap metal, and so it's a great idea to actually leave some of this coal here. And if you've got scrap metal that you want to leave behind here too, just inside of the processing plant, I think I said this in the last episode, there's a lot of metal shelves, and if you have a hacksaw, you can break a bunch of those metal shelves down so that you can have scrap metal, bring it back out here to the forge. Be sure to bring some kind of bedroll, and I want to say it takes around maybe about an hour to make one arrowhead. I could be wrong, but anyways, that's a great place to just kind of stockpile wood for burning, coal, scrap metal, all that good stuff to bring it out here. The tough part is that way out here to the east on Desolation Point, it's kind of far away if you get back into the other part of the game. So totally up to you if you want just kind of a confident way of a confident location, knowing where you can make those arrowheads. Alright, so we're kind of checking out the kitchen here. A couple articles of clothing there in that bunkhouse. Body temperature's going up a little bit, but not a ton. So all in all, we found a few helpful things on the Riken. Nothing that really just jumps off the page for us or anything, but that's all right. Okay, we'll check up here, check down here, and check up in the tower. Hypothermia setting in. Damn. I mean, to be honest though, freezing. I mean, if you get, the game has just this perfect match of if you find too many good things and there's just too many items, you get kind of bored because it starts to get easy. But there's almost just this great balance of let me find just enough to get by. I think that's what creates so many memorable moments in the game, is those moments where you feel like you're just getting by. That you got those one or two items that you've really wanted to get, and you're just holding on by the skin of your teeth, that you make it to that next site when you're about to freeze to death. You make that fire just when you feel like you're about to go out. You hobble to a safe place when you've just been attacked, and you are one attack away from being killed and ending your playthrough that's been going on for another rifle cartridge. There you go. A playthrough that's gone on for over 100 days or so. So it's just, there's so many just great, memorable moments that the game can create for you just out of your desperation in that moment. And if the game's too easy, you kind of get robbed of that. And so that's the beauty of the difficulties in this game, is that it can create those memories for you. Alright, so we're going to hop down here. Okay. Alright, and there's the lighthouse. We're going to start heading that way. and we'll find a lot of great resources there. Go ahead and kill our lamp here. And this is the thing I love about Desolation Point, is that you've got great visibility. Like, you can take the road, you can walk out here on the open ice, and you can see any kind of wolf that's headed your way. You can see any kind of bear that might be headed your way. And let's kind of work our way over here to this bridge. There's a pickup truck down here that sometimes has some goodies in it. But our body temperature is freezing, so we need to be quick and try to get to that lighthouse that we saw. All right, what do we got? We got another jerry can. Okay.
Might have to drop some gear.
Got a rifle cleaning kit. Let's see what we have inside. Anything in the glove box? Okay, nuts and stuff. Classic. Okay, and there's some scrap metal there. Okay, we don't necessarily need to go in there. We're losing body temperature pretty quick, so it might be good for us just to kind of make our way to the lighthouse. Okay. Ooh, we just heard that wolf. It sounds like it just killed a rabbit, though. Let's see. Let me take a look. What we've got here. We're kind of heavy. So if there's anything that we can drop the spray paint. I never use that. Some people do. Let's see. Maybe some of these books. These aren't skill books. These are just books for us to burn. Those are weighing about 2 pounds. Let's see what else. This is great entertainment. I know this is great YouTubing. Okay, maybe we can eat a little bit. That'll kind of lighten our load a little bit too. Eating half a pound of peanut butter. Drop the can. And as your fatigue goes throughout the day, the less and less you can carry. So the more tired I am, the less I can carry. So that's something you got to think about. All right, okay, we're back under good moving weight. All right, so we'll make our way over to this lighthouse, and sometimes there's a wolf or 2 wolves that spawn kind of at the entrance of it, and so there's a couple ways that you can get around it. A little bit of cedar. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get our flare ready just in case we do run up on one of those wolves. We can pop that thing open, kind of keep our distance from the wolf. And that'll be enough to scare it off, or at least keep it from biting us. Sometimes you just come right over the top of this hill and boom, they're right there, so they can kind of come out of nowhere. I don't see any though. I think we're good. Alright, so we'll take this long walkway up to the lighthouse, and the lighthouse is probably the best base area for Desolation Point. Desolation Point is such a small, condensed area that, I mean, you could easily do it at the whale plant, but there's not just a great way to cook stuff. Like, I mean, there's a barrel that you can cook on in there, but I think the lighthouse is the way to go. You've got bedding, you've got a furnace there, lots of resources, several crates that you can break down if you need firewood out of that. The lighthouse is kind of in the center of everything too. So what we'll probably do is just make this lighthouse kind of our our main hub or base of operations. We'll gather everything else that we need to gather. We still need to run over to the chapel. We still need to run over to the corner to. Let's see what we got here.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Ring flare, those are good, especially against timber wolves. We won't see any of those probably for a little while, but it's good to have just in case. Okay, checking our time of day. It's about midday, a little past midday, so there's still some things that we can go out and do before it gets dark. And we might try to offload some of this stuff into a drawer, like especially some of this wood. We don't need to be carrying around pounds of sticks and wood. We can leave that here and start a fire later. Same with the books. Leave those here. Okay, pretty wet. Some of our clothing items are wet. Okay, we can change into some dry boots. The shoes definitely are faster. Let's see what else we can kind of offload. We can go look at our food. We have several cans of stuff. Those cans can be a little heavy, so we'll store some food in here. Really only take with us what we need. We're mainly offloading a bunch of this just because there's so much more to explore within the lighthouse itself. Just lots of things that's going to be on the table and on the shelf, and so we'll go ahead and get our lantern out and check out everything else. Old laptop there. This little under the stairs compartment. Nothing there. Check out some of these drawers.
This will come in handy.
Some socks. Mittens, okay. Piece of cloth, light shell. Okay, there's another sewing kit. Alright, we got some more lantern fuel and can of food. Oops, nope. Alright, so we accidentally started the process of breaking that table down. And that was an accident, and in turn, our lantern ran out of fuel. So always be careful of that. If you're about to do something that requires many minutes or an hour or so process, be sure to kill your light so that you don't use up all your fuel or burn your batteries or anything like that. I've learned that the hard way many times. Be sure to turn your light off. Alright, let's see what's up here.
Hope I can still eat this.
Get some bullets, spray paint, more spray paint, even though I probably won't use it. With the pry bar, we can open this bad boy up. See if we got anything good. Combat boots and peanut butter. What a day in the life. Alright, some chips. Again, you can break those crates and that pallet down if you need wood later. Sometimes I've broken those down and found more like rifle cartridges or just different things underneath those.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
So then we can go up top. Typically there's a couple items up here as well. Rifle cartridge. There you go. Hear the wolves howling. Alright, so our body temperature is doing okay. We're a little bit tired, and that's going down pretty steadily just because we are carrying so much. And so we might can offload a little bit of this. We're a little thirsty, but not dying of thirst or anything like that. So let's kill our light, and let's try to, last thing that we want to do is we want to run over to Katie's corner and the chapel. And so to do that, we might just unload, just drop a bunch of stuff, because we can go over there, we can find potentially a bow, we can find potentially a revolver. And I think that we can get those items and make it back here to the lighthouse before it gets dark. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to just drop a bunch of heavier items and then pick them up when we get back. So, I mean, that's going to be, those are some of the heavy ones right there. So the bedroll, pretty heavy. Put down one of those jerry cans. Scrap metal. There's a couple things. Alright, so the snow's picking up a little bit. Wind's picking up a little bit. The temperature is dropping, but it's not dropping at an alarming rate or anything. You can see, I think that's a wolf way over there. Alright, again, sometimes there can be a wolf kind of right through here. Okay, so far so good. There's one over there. Alright, so we can't necessarily go down across the lake that way. We have to go around, find a way to go around that wolf. Oh. Oh gosh, where is he? That's not good. Ooh, sometimes you can't tell where they're coming from. Let's go ahead and get our flare out. Get this thing ready. Where's this guy coming from? I don't see him. Oh, that one's taken off. Alright, we'll head over here to Katie's secluded corner, see if this thing's gonna follow us or not. We can't go around that way. Yeah, he's still right on our tail. There's a wolf right ahead of me, too. I think he's tracking. Okay, yeah, there he is. He's there on that deer. We'll let him do his thing. That'll keep him busy. There's a couple of rabbits there, too. Right, we'll squeeze kind of right through here. This is one way to get there. You can get there from the lake, too. But if you go right through here and go right through this little pass, up in here you will find Katie's secluded corner. Wolf is still back there, and you'll find a couple of helpful items back here. Sometimes there's a backpack with a bow and an arrow as well. But you've got rabbits up in through here. Okay, here's the bow right here. Perfect. Okay, we got some food. We got a skill book as well. There's an old fire, and there's a carcass too. Alright, so carrying kind of a load, so what we can do is we can maybe get between these rabbits and the wolves and use the rabbits as the lure for the wolf. There he goes, he's going after him. And you hear that squeal, that's him killing him. So, we can get this birch wood while we're up here. Alright, so now that wolf is busy with them, we can move on.
That'll come in handy.
And sometimes that's a trick that I use, especially with deer hunting. If you're not great with a rifle, you're not great shooting moving targets or anything like that, sometimes I will lure a deer or push a deer towards a wolf, have the wolf kill it, and as the wolf is standing over the deer, you can take a shot at the wolf, basically with the wolf standing still. So you're talking about getting two for the price of one. You've got deer meat, deer carcass, wolf meat, wolf carcass, all just kind of by doing that. I want to say I've even spooked several deer into the same wolf before. So, alright, yeah, so that edge, we can't necessarily get down there safely. So what we're going to do is we're going to
looks like it
start
worked.
A little fire here. Just because our flare's running out, and that wolf is likely just going to follow us. And so if we get a torch going, he'll still follow us, but he won't attack us. So let's just try to go around him. He's already finished with that rabbit. Okay, nothing left to harvest.
I would drink almost anything about now.
We'll see if we can slip past him, and we can maybe make our way over to the chapel. There's typically some pretty good resources over in the chapel. Sometimes there's a revolver that spawns there. I don't know if that same wolf will be with that deer that we left earlier. Let's see if it's over here. Yep, he's still there. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go through here, cut across the street, and go up that little incline just right over there. And that will take us up to the chapel. I got an old abandoned mine shaft right there. We'll bypass that for now, just because we kind of want to find what we need at the church and get moving. getting pretty tired too, so our equipment is getting heavier. We're getting more thirsty. So, and we've been going all day too, so it makes sense that we're exhausted and thirsty. All right, so the back of this church is basically blown out the corner here, and a lot of times there's a gun just on. Okay, it's not there. Typically, there's a revolver right there, just on the right side of them, but not in this playthrough.
I could use this.
Marine flare, baseball cap, the skill book. Yep. Okay, sometimes there's stuff underneath the seats. Got a few more items over here. Condensed milk. Condensed milk's good for filling your hunger and filling your thirst. It's some cedar wood. There's some ammo, some rifle ammunition. Okay. And again, when you go to select your fuel, be sure not to use your skill books. You can very easily do that when you're cycling through them. Do not use your skill books. Alright, so we can configure that a little bit. We'll go ahead and throw a little bit of accelerant on there just because
that should help warm things up.
But we also need some water. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open this tomato can. And we'll cook that. Some wood. Man, I really wish that revolver was here. It's so nice to have. Okay, go ahead and eat that, drink that. Tomato soup's another one that's going to increase both your hunger meter and your thirst meter. So we're going to go ahead and start melting some water and boiling some water. You kind of have to go through two phases. You have to melt it down.
I'm gonna need to rest
into
soon.
non-potable water, and then you need to boil it into potable water. And if you get a pot, you can do way more than a can would. Okay, so we'll throw that book in there. This book's not really worth anything. Alright, so sun is about to go down. Go ahead and take our pot. Alright, so we got a little bit of water in the system. Getting pretty tired. Snow's definitely picking up. Yeah, that weather's definitely picking up. Just blew our torch out. Alright, so what we're going to do... Oh yeah, you can hear it and feel it. What we're going to do is we're going to try to muscle it back to the lighthouse. And then try to get some sleep. Good news is about this weather is that the wolves don't necessarily come out very much in it. And so you don't have to necessarily worry about them. And that tomato soup that we had is keeping us warm too. Normally our temperature would drop dramatically, and it's dropping pretty fast now with that plus. Yeah, see, in this blizzard you can barely see anything. So if you don't know where you're going, I would encourage you check out the maps. If you haven't looked at the maps yet, the maps are such a lifesaver. Like, don't feel like you're cheating by using the maps. Like, there's such a necessity, especially when it comes to like an interloper or a stalker playthrough. Like, if you want to go pilgrim and go blind through a lot of this stuff, be my guest. You'll likely find plenty of resources and you'll make it work. But in the higher difficulties, you really have to understand where you're going and what you're doing. Just because this game will eat you alive. almost there. We are exhausted. We're in the red. We're fatigued. Almost there. We're heavy and we're tired.
Can't feel my hands.
Yeah, just like that, from the chapel to the lighthouse, our temperature gauge is almost completely depleted. We're completely exhausted. We're in the red on that one, and so our health is slowly going to take a dip.
I'm feeling so drained.
So drained. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to just basically make our way up to the cot, get some sleep, and I think that's where we'll probably end this episode. Thanks for spending time with me, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll have more Long Dark videos coming out soon, but for now, we're going to get some rest. We'll see you next time.